Hello and welcome to our first ever supplemental bonus episode.
Could you be any more less energy?
Any more less energy? I could be more less energy.
Dude, you should be excited. Come on.
Here, I'll run it from the top. Yeah, look at our first ever bonus episode. Yeah.
That's better. That's better.
Today we're gonna talk about a fucking movie.
Yeah. So, Chris, what are we doing?
We're gonna talk about a little movie that just got released about a big monkey. Remember?
There was actually two.
Remember some time ago, a couple years ago,
Yeah.
we did our review, spoiler cast, whatever, on Godzilla vs. Kong.
Yes.
The first one that came out.
Yep.
Now, the second one came out.
It's not versus, though.
It's Godzilla and Kong, or Godzilla X Kong.
Yeah.
And we saw it. It came out yesterday. We saw it yesterday.
Yeah. Premiere night, dude.
Premiere night. Not a lot of people in that theater for a premiere.
No, yeah. It was kind of alarming.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is, man.
Yeah.
But we saw the new Godzilla Kong movie, and this is our little thoughts on it. This is a full spoiler review. Not that I think this is a hot button movie that people are going to care about spoilers on, but if you haven't seen it and you're going to see it,
And you don't want any
spoilers, not that the story's particularly fantastic, then don't watch.
Yeah. All right. Final warning. Done. Chris, take it away.
Oh, man, I love monkeys.
Yes.
I love apes and things. This is a very similar movie to the first one, where it's definitely a Kong first movie.
100%. Yeah.
The
it's
first
Kong
one
forward.
was very Kong focused. A lot of the plot happens around Kong,
Yeah.
rather than the plot happening around both of them. There's only a couple altercations between Godzilla and Kong. Like, they're only on screen together for like 10 minutes
Yeah.
at the end of the movie. So
Yeah, that's where I have a note on there, Chris, that says where's the where's the crossover between Kong and Godzilla? Like,
Yeah.
it really isn't the focus of the movie.
it really isn't. And they went through the same aspects of, I think similar to the first one. They had like we have the movie written with Godzilla the creature and King Kong the man.
Yeah.
Because we see Godzilla in, I mean, there's nothing that makes you feel for Godzilla. There's nothing that makes you think like, oh man, I want to root for this big fucking lizard fuck.
Yeah, it's very unempathetic.
Yeah, he's just a big lizard, and he's fucking things up. But Kong is definitely developed as a character that's supposed to be more relatable and more human.
Yeah, we listened back to part of the first spoiler cast for the first movie, and like that we had talked about this movie, last night, and we came to that conclusion. But then listening back to last time's spoiler cast, we said kind of the similar thing of like, yeah, the monkey clearly is the mold that holds this together. Like, you're supposed to feel for the monkey and want to root for the monkey, and then Godzilla's just kind of there to fuck shit up.
Godzilla's there to bring the audience. Kong is there for the story.
Yeah.
So let's kind of go over the plot here a little bit.
Your dumbass missed the opening scene. How could you?
I had to piss.
Hold it.
You missed an even more important part of the movie.
I suppose I did. You want me to tell you how it opens, Chris?
All right, yeah, tell us exactly for the first minute that I missed.
The movie basically just opens with Kong kind of doing his thing on Hollow Earth. He's running around doing things, and he gets attacked by these like weird dog creatures, like a whole fucking pack of them, like fucking 20 of them. And the whole thing is he's leading them into his territory, and he's just using booby traps. So he's running, and he like jumps over nothing, like he just randomly leaps for no reason. But the dogs, they're stupid. They just keep running. They step into like a fucking grass pit, and then they fall on a bunch of spikes underneath, and they die. And then the other ones see this, they jump over, and then there's the next thing. It's like a tripwire, and they hit the tripwire, and this big fucking stone comes swinging from left field and just cleaves one of them in half against a rock, and he finally gets cornered, right, and he's pinned down in like a little crevasse, right? And this is just about when you were about to walk in. He's pinned down in this crevasse, and the fucking monkey just punches the wall and knocks a bunch of boulders onto the dogs. And then they're all dead. And that's when you came in. So that's where we see Kong kind of fighting for his territory on the opening scene in Hollow Earth, which is kind of like the Upside Down in Stranger Things, where it's through some random fucking portal and it's this weird Earth.
There's actually like a lot of strange conspiracy theory elements to the movie, like Hollow Earth and like vortexes and portals and things. That's like real conspiracy shit, which... by the way, it's put in a movie. It's put in the movie in a way that's like, I guess, kind of makes sense to the plot, but also like, I don't know how I feel about giving a nod to such a ridiculous conspiracy theory.
Right.
But that's beside the point. So Kong, he's fucking things up. He gets a little toothache.
Yeah.
He fucks up his tooth.
Yeah. He does have a brokey tooth, and he needs help.
So he's got to jump up to the Earth.
Through the portal.
Through the big portal. And he's like, oh, fuck my tooth, dude.
Like, dude, it's like debilitating. He's laid out.
He gets onto this beach, and he just passes out on a mountain.
Yeah, and it's the Monarch, base, which Monarch is the people who monitor these titans, is what they call, like, Kong and Godzilla.
Yeah.
And they're like, yo, what's wrong with him? And there's just fucking vet guy who's like, I'm a 300-foot monkey vet. He has a toothache.
I'm a big monkey vet. Let me get a big helicopter, send down a hook it on the tooth,
and rip that bitch.
Rip it out of Kong's head.
No, they did sedate him as well, which was nice. Yeah. They sedated him.
Right? Which is fair. Yeah, they put him under, which, I think is standard procedure for tooth extraction on 300-foot tall apes.
I think so. I mean, we don't have one of those people here to ask, but I would think it is, yeah.
Like, if we had an expert, I would consult them, but... So he gets a new metal tooth.
Yeah.
And
perhaps tungsten, we don't know.
And then I think they say what material it is. I just forget.
Yeah, I forget too.
I forget. Jumps back into the Hollow Earth, and he's fucking around. They're following him into the Hollow Earth because the little girl from the last movie, she's like the Kong whisperer. she's getting like signals that like distress calls from inside the Hollow Earth. Yeah. And they're finding some unusual activity, seismic activity, electromagnetic activity.
And it matches the symbol she's seeing.
Exactly. And the person who figures this out, who puts this all together, is the goat from the last movie.
The goat.
Bernie, dude.
Bernie.
If you don't remember from the last movie, Bernie is that like podcaster that they contract to help with this. He's like a conspiracy theory podcaster, and they bring him back, and he puts everything together, and he worms his way into going to Hollow Earth to figure everything out.
Yeah, they really tried to do my man dirty. They're like, you're not going. He's like, I figured this out, bro. Like, come on.
What I don't appreciate, I think, is like the fact that the science lady, I forget her fucking name.
I don't know her name either. Bernie's the only name I know.
I only care about Bernie and Kong and Ziller. That's all I care about. So, science lady, Bernie's explaining this to her, and he's going through his methodology to like, get some credibility because he's some dickhead who makes a podcast, and we're not intelligent as dickheads who make podcasts, so... Yeah. I would assume that she would assume that he's not very intelligent.
So he's trying to show the fruit of his labor.
Show check this out. Here's all the history and this and that. And she's just like, she hits him with like a English 4 eyes. Like, bro, isn't it established that you have 2 PhDs?
Yeah.
I think you should be able to appreciate his methodology here. Let him cook for a while.
Especially when his methodology is going to lead you into this fucking project, like going into Hollow Earth. Like, you would want to see the proof before jumping into a ship and flying to Hollow Earth, right?
Flying into what is ostensibly an extremely dangerous situation, potentially.
In almost nearly entirely uncharted territory that you know little about, other than monkey go there.
Exactly. Right. Personally, if it were me, I would have listened to Bernie. I would have let him speak for a while. And I would have guaranteed him a seat on the ship to Hollow Earth, okay?
100%. That's payment.
I wouldn't have made him come back and be like, please let me come to Hollow Earth. You go to Hollow Earth, yeah, Bernie's trying to make a documentary. Not a very experienced documentarian, because what you do is you get your footage and you do your voiceover later. Mm-hmm. He's doing his voiceover as he's recording, which I will say, this is unironically the funniest fucking part of the movie, is Bernie recording shit, because he's got like a little Sony Handycam, and in the movie, they cut to the footage that was taken off of that camera. Like, very obviously, it's from that camera.
It's even in 4:3.
And it's super shaky. And he's like, and it's super close up, too. Like, he'll turn the camera around, and you just see, like, this.
Yeah, like his eyes.
And it's all super shaky. And there's a point where he's taking pictures of stuff with a Polaroid-like camera. He's like, pshing, boom, and a little picture comes out.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. It is pretty funny.
Actually, the funniest fucking part of the movie. So they discover that the little girl from the first one, she's also in Hollow Earth, along with the dentist guy from earlier, and a Scottish guy who gets eviscerated 2 minutes into the movie. So he's not important. He gets really mad for 2 seconds and immediately dies, and literally no one cares.
Bernie does. Bernie's scared.
Bernie's like, holy shit, someone just died, but he gets over it real quick.
Yeah. Yeah, he gets eaten by a tree, which is Bernie's big gripe.
So, point being, they're in the Hollow Earth. It's dangerous. Bernie's filming. The little girl from the first one is with them. And there's a prophecy that they find. They find more of her, like, people, right? Or they find architecture from her people, like a temple. And there's, they eventually follow it back, and they eventually find, like, an uncontacted tribe of, that people, which is, like, kind of significant, because it's established that the little girl, is the only one left.
Which is now not true.
Which is now not true. There's a whole tribe. And they kind of, like, read through a prophecy that the tribe had, and it was all, like, how... like, this is going to happen, and then once Godzilla and Kong have to team up with Mothra, but Mothra can only be awoken by an Iwi from Skull Island, and she's the particular person in the prophecy.
Yeah.
So they awaken the big moth. Jordan got real pissed off about this moth.
It was just stupid. It was just stupid.
Bro has beef with Mothra.
The moth was just dumb, and then it was like knockoff Spider-Man. It was just webbing people. It's kind of stupid.
The web part I thought was strange.
Dude, like, yeah, they don't really do a good job of like showing and explaining it. It's just kind of like randomly something gets webbed, and then you like kind of catch a fucking frame where moths were doing it.
I just thought the texturing of the web was strange too. They do this whole thing. There's a bunch of human shit that goes on. The monsters awake. But what do they have to fight? They have to fight the Scar King. And who's the Scar King? Well, let's back all the way up to Kong.
After his toothache.
After his tooth hurt. He went to like some uncharted area in the Hollow Earth. He's looking for more monkeys.
Lonely.
And he finds an uncharted area, and there's this little fuck that emerges from the mist. And this little ape looks like Alex.
Yeah, from the show. Yeah, if you watch Alex on the show.
Let's put up a picture of Alex and a picture of that monkey. Tell me they do not look alike.
It's pretty similar.
They look so similar.
He disagrees. I know we brought this up to him.
He's wrong.
He disagrees.
Because every other person I've asked is like, yeah, that looks like Alex.
Yeah.
They look so similar. So he's like, holy shit, another monkey. And he reaches out because it's like just a little baby. He reaches out his hand. Little Alex monkey bites the fuck out of his finger.
Yeah.
And then other monkeys emerge. This is the part Jordan missed.
Yeah.
Other monkeys emerge and start fucking up Kong. And Kong, they forgot that Kong is him. So Kong just starts fucking him up. Just like it was like a 6-on-1 battle. He throws a bunch of them off a cliff, and then there's like 3 or 4 of them that are fighting him, and Mini Kong is on his head fucking him up, and he grabs Mini Kong, the little Alex monkey, and starts using him as a weapon. I couldn't even laugh because I was just in awe at what I was seeing. I was sitting there. Jordan, if you saw my reaction, I was sitting there like this.
Mouth agape.
I was just jaw on the floor at what I was seeing. Like, you saw this child. He bit you a little bit. Granted, not cool, but he's a baby.
Yeah.
So you used him as a weapon?
Yeah.
Kind of fucked up. Point is, he's found other Kongs, other monkeys.
Killed some of them, but he found them.
He did kill some of them. And then Big Kong and Mini Kong go on a journey. They eat some grub. They eat some, like, big monster.
Yeah, that's, like, one of the coolest scenes, by the way.
Yeah, there's a shot in particular where they're both sitting on, like, logs eating this monster, and the sunset is in the back, and it goes so hard.
Yeah, that's like wallpaper material.
It's such a good shot.
Yeah.
And the whole thing is they're trying to find more monks, but there's a prison. There's a big prison of monkeys, and the Scar King is the head of this monkey labor camp. And the reason he has power is because he's controlling another monster that shoots ice.
It's like an ice Godzilla.
Yeah, an ice bitch. I forgot that one's name, I'll be honest.
None of it's that important.
So he's got this other monster. So Kong goes in, and there's some shenanigans. He gets in a little altercation with one of the prisoners, who starts talking mad shit, and Kong just punches him in the face.
Just bust that jaw, dude. Just one shot to the jaw.
Really funny.
Yeah.
But King Monk emerges. The Scar King, he emerges, and he's got this like big whip made of like bone.
Yeah.
And
With the control on the end.
It's got a thing on the end, and that's what he uses to control the other ice bitch. So him and Kong get into it. They're fighting, and it looks like Kong is about to win, right? He's about to win. He kind of got his ass kicked a little bit, but he's about to win.
He learned, right? He got his shit rocked in the beginning. He never fought a whip bitch before. And then he finally used the whip against him and beat the fuck out of him.
Yeah, he beat the guy, and the guy was like, all right. And then some shit just starts happening, and then Ice Bitch emerges.
Yeah.
Kong tries to block it with his stick from the first movie.
Yeah.
Freezes his arm all up.
Yeah.
So, that's unfortunate.
Yeah. Alex Monkey saves him.
Alex Monkey does save him.
Yep.
So eventually he gets out of there. Big Kong, Little Kong, because I think he knows implicitly that the little girl is there too.
He can sense her, yeah.
So he starts heading to her because he's hurt. So he finds her, and he gets a robo arm.
Project Powerhouse, I believe they called it.
And he gets a robo arm. They give him some monkey testosterone or some fucking monkey trembolone or something.
Just to take a step back to that scene is comical when the vet guy, so that he comes across the little girl and the monarch people and the vet guy just pulls out like a fucking OBD reader and goes and is like, yep, I sense nerve damage, frostbite, that.
He's got a little like something like this. Like he's got a little walkie-talkie. He's like, yeah, that's nerve
not
damage.
doing well.
Godzilla is gaining power. He's like
for some reason
absorb all the power he can. And for the movie, that's like the Godzilla plot. Like he's trying to absorb power, and through the whole movie, we don't know why he's doing that. But obviously, you know as an audience now, because I told you it's part of the prophecy. Because he's charging up because he's got to fight the Scar King and all his monk. And then Kong has to find Godzilla.
Because the Ewa girl tells him to.
Yes.
Keep in mind, Kong doesn't think of that. Kong goes, I can't win this. And she's like, bro, you need help. Go.
You gotta go find the lizard. So he goes to find him. Godzilla's pissed about this.
Why are you on my territory, bitch?
Yeah, what the fuck are you doing here? Godzilla's Godzilla and Kong get into it in the pyramids, in front of the fucking Great Pyramids, destroying 5,000-year-old architecture. Kong, with his new power glove, fucks up Godzilla, just dragging him by the tail to get him into Hollow Earth.
Yeah.
And then eventually they come to like a mutual understanding.
Because of Mothra. That's the
Yes, because
important thing.
Mothra emerges.
Mothra comes out and it's like, yo, stop, because...
Mothra's like, hey, calm down.
Yeah.
So they come together, and there's also some plot point about how the Iwi people, they run a civilization based on changing gravitational fields, which is, I have to note, horrifically inefficient, because gravitational waves are outstandingly weak.
Yeah.
Overall, they eventually they get into it. They fight.
The reveal is cool.
The big monks and the little monks, the Godzillas, they're fighting. And they fuck up an entire city.
Yeah, they leave Hollow Earth. That's important to mention.
They all leave Hollow Earth, and they're all fighting in the above Earth.
In the Earth.
You know, they all get into an altercation. They fight for a while. Kong and Mini Kong free the ice bitch from his chains, basically.
Yeah.
Ice bitch turns on Scar King, freezes him. Kong smashes this frozen monk, turns him into dust.
Yep.
And then they all celebrate and this and that. And he comes back to the monkey prison. He's like, you are all free.
What's important to note, too, is this is where we also get another very important reveal about Godzilla. He wasn't charging up to fight at all. He was charging up to undo the damage that Ice Godzilla did to the atmosphere. Remember? He blasted the sky to actually free the atmosphere. That's one of the things that Iwa said. He wasn't preparing to fight.
Yeah, because he's
the savior.
Ice bitch, he shoots frost into the atmosphere, and it starts getting all dark.
Yeah, so, and then Godzilla undoes that at the very end. That's like the last you see of them before they part ways.
Right.
And Moth Bitch also helps do something, I forget.
Yeah.
Repair something.
So, overall, that's kind of what happens. The end of the movie, the last fight between all the Kongs, the Zillas, the this, the that,
Alice's.
was so, I think, anticlimactic.
I concur.
It was short. There wasn't a lot going on.
Yeah, a lot of missed opportunity in my opinion too. Specifically with what you mentioned with Alice and Kong freeing the ice bitch.
Yeah.
There's a lot of missed opportunity because the way that happens is kind of involving the axe, and like the axe is supposed to be this really cool weapon that Kong has, and it's just kind of anticlimactic. They just smash the chain, and that's really it. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just weird.
So it was kind of an anticlimactic ending, and the actual end of the movie is super abrupt.
Yeah, I didn't expect it to actually end when it did.
Like, I thought there was at least another 5 minutes after that last scene.
Yeah.
The very last scene is Kong returning to the other Kongs, and he screams. He's like, you're all free, basically. Yeah. I killed the Scar bitch.
He basically becomes the new king.
He becomes King Kong. And after that happens, after that scene, the movie just ends.
Yeah, roll credits.
I thought there was going to be like another couple of minutes at least.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, you don't even get much with the human plot either. Like, you don't see much of Bernie. It's just kind of like the Ewa girl goes, I'm not going to stay with them. I'm going to stay with you, adopted mom.
Like, there's some whole plot about how she's like, fuck up, top Earth society. This shit is stupid. They don't like me up there. And then she finally finds her people, and the science lady's like, hey, listen, you can stay here if you want. And she's like, nah. And that's the culmination of that plot.
And they hug it out. And
what I am very upset about is we never see Bernie's documentary. We never see. There should have been a point where Bernie was like, dude, I got 10 billion views on this one. So it's just, the ending was very disappointing. But what I will say, it was way fucking funnier than I thought as a movie. But it was funny in the same way the Five Nights at Freddy's movie was funny, where the stuff that was supposed to be funny was still kind of funny. But all the stuff that was not supposed to be funny was hilarious.
Yeah.
Like, the Mini Kong being used as a weapon, really funny. And I couldn't help but notice we were the only people laughing at this movie.
Yeah, that's
It
true.
was such a funny movie. It was funny because it was absurd, and also
I'm pissed.
can't help but picture, because the mini Kong looks like Alex, I can't help but picture Alex's dumbass in those situations.
We kept calling him Alex, and we were.
Yeah.
I don't usually talk during movies, but we were way in the back, like we were the last row against the wall, so we were talking a lot.
We were bullshitting for the whole movie.
So I was like, yo, look at Alex, bro. Look, he's running around, and Chris would be like, dude, look, Alex has the ats. Like, we just kept doing that the whole time.
Yeah.
So it was pretty funny.
So it was a really fucking funny movie. The CGI, I will say, really, really good looking. The CGI and the sound design, I didn't put this on my notes, but the sound design was like really interesting.
Yes.
Especially the Godzilla charging noise,
Gives me
really
chills.
interesting.
Every
really
time.
fun. The Kong yelling, pretty good. Pretty good.
Pretty scurry.
Yeah, my timbers were sufficiently shivered. But all the Hollow Earth like CGI looks really good.
Especially the opening scene
Like
of Hollow Earth.
surprisingly good.
Yeah.
Despite the fact that like the geometry of it doesn't make a lot of sense.
Well, yeah, I was going to say geometry of it doesn't make a lot of sense. And also, like, keep in mind, Hollow Earth, for those who don't know, is there's the, regular what you're seeing. And then there's just a different flipped version of that above it.
A new Earth,
Like,
but in the Earth.
but like literally it's mirrored. Like the whole world is mirrored in Hollow Earth, which is like kind of crazy because everything that they're basically rendering out, they're rendering out twice, which is kind of impressive as fuck, to be honest. So
Yeah. It looked good, surprisingly good for what this movie is.
Yeah. Godzilla looked really good too, I do want to say, because he has a lot more detail than Monkey Man, because he's just fur.
Godzilla was ripped, dude.
Yeah, dude, them thighs, bro.
He had some fat thighs on him.
Holy shit.
Some fat thighs.
No, yeah, Godzilla I thought was like peak CGI in that movie, like texturing, lighting, everything when he was moving around. Like it was.
I gotta talk about the geometric oddities that exist in the movie. Because King Kong is supposed to be, I think Godzilla and Kong are both supposed to be like 250 feet tall or 300 feet tall. And in Hollow Earth, those dimensions make no sense. They make even less sense on Earth, but in the Hollow Earth, they don't make a lot of sense in terms of scale. Like, there are trees that are the size of trees here.
Yeah.
And there could be the same... They could have looped in that plot about gravity, because Bernie says, like, oh, things don't seem to be as heavy here. Something gravitational fields. And that could have been a plot point where it's like, that's how Kong got so big, because there's less gravity. Yeah. But the trees would also be bigger. The trees are like the same size as Earth trees.
Yeah.
I think the size of Kong is dynamic in Hollow Earth specifically. In Earth, it's pretty consistent.
For both of them. Even in Hollow Earth, Godzilla was pretty inconsistent too.
So I think they just fucked up their render a little bit. Like, it's kind of hard to make them the same size.
Because there's no real point of reference.
Yeah. Like, they couldn't just wheel a building in there,
Yeah,
so
exactly.
It was kind of, I guess it was kind of difficult for them to do that. But it was inconsistent in a strange way, especially with Mini Kong. They go into like a lake at some point, which they're like waist high in at the most, or like knee high even.
If that, yeah.
And then like a fucking 500-foot long serpent emerges from this lake, which, if it were that big in that small of a lake, you would be stepping on it.
I'd be pissed too, honestly. If
you
was
like,
that big.
That's a puddle to that thing.
Yeah.
So I don't know how it sustains itself, but that's because I don't think there's many Kongs that just fall into that lake ready to be eaten.
It's Uber Eats, that's how it does.
He gets DoorDash.
Yeah.
But yeah, you fight that thing in the lake. Kong fucks it up, and they eat it.
Oh, not on camera, by the way.
Oh yeah, no, he doesn't. It's an off-screen kill.
Yeah.
They didn't have the budget for that one. But overall, yeah, the geometry is fucking strange. Even with Mini Kong, his sizing is really inconsistent. There are times where he's like a third of the height of Kong, and then there's times where he's like a fucking quarter-inch tall.
Yeah.
Like when he's first introduced, he's just a little guy. He's a little fella.
Yeah, you said he fit on his head, like he was holding his
he's
head.
a little dude. And then by the end of the movie, you can see he's like at least a third of the height of Kong. I do have to give the writing a nod. It's a nod in a sense that it's mediocre. They see the Mini Kong and they go, "Is that a Mini Kong?" I'm like, yeah. How about that?
It's serviceable, I guess.
I mean, it's fine writing, especially considering all of the good dialogue scenes contained no dialogue.
Yeah.
All of the good scenes that happen that advance the plot forward in a way that's not like an exposition dump have no dialogue because they exist between Kong and Mini Kong or Godzilla and Kong.
Yeah. Or the girl in her tribe who doesn't speak, by the way.
Yeah,
she doesn't speak either.
Yeah, the tribe doesn't speak. None of them speak.
I will say the sign language was cool. I think we said that in the first one when we watched it. The doing sign language, like that's always neat to see.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's always pretty neat. So,
but it's established. Like, is it established that they're deaf?
I didn't recall like that coming up. I know I think established that they don't speak. They can all talk telepathically.
Yeah, but I don't think it's established that she or any of the tribe is deaf.
She is established as deaf in the first one.
She's deaf.
The tribe, I don't think so, because the mom talks to her and the girl nods. The tribe leader or whatever nods.
Okay, because I was gonna say because if she just can't speak, why are you talking to her in sign language?
Yeah.
Use words. If she can hear, she just can't speak.
Yeah. No, I believe she's deaf because even sometimes they didn't really commit to it. Like I was kind of hoping they would commit to this exact sort of scene because I like seeing this in media. But they had a couple scenes with her exclusively where they didn't make her deaf. Like they didn't shut off the audio, but they very clearly reduced every background noise to next to nothing, like it was muffled.
But also, if she's deaf, doesn't she get yelled at or something when she's in school and she's drawing the little fucking?
But she can't hear them. That's the whole thing. She's drawing, and they're all staring at her.
I
and
thought
she
was just like in a trance or whatever.
Yeah, I think it's like a little bit of both because that's when she's having her like calling or whatever. But yeah, she doesn't get yelled at, and then the parents are talking to the teacher, or sorry, the mom's talking to the teacher in the hallway, and she can't hear them. She only sees the mom, and I think she can only read the mom's lips because that's a whole part of it that's missing. She doesn't know what the teacher's saying.
I see.
So I don't know if they ever just go, she's deaf, but like it's heavily implied.
This bitch's ears don't work.
Yeah, it's heavily implied.
Okay, I see.
Like I said, even when they do the scenes with just her, like her and Kong, usually every background noise almost entirely cuts out, like on purpose. So it's pretty cool. I don't know. I think she's probably besides Bernie, the only like slightly interesting human. The mom was kind of annoying.
The humans in this movie are a shit, I think.
The vet guy had some funny one-liners.
Yeah. Vet guy and Bernie, I think Bernie definitely carried the human plot.
Yeah.
Him and Vet guy have a little bromance that happens.
They do let him loosen up a bit at the end, and it's pretty funny. Yeah.
Like Bernie's like, I'm gonna fuck that guy, or whatever.
I'm gonna kiss you on your mouth. That's what he says.
He said, I'm gonna fuck you in the mouth.
Yeah, that was one of the things we were like laughing at because it came out of nowhere. We were like, that's suspicious.
Like, whoa, relax.
Bernie said, I could kiss you on your mouth. Like the way he says it is like literally like that.
Bernie hits come over here and kiss me on my hot mouth.
I wonder if that's what that was like a nod to, in a way, because it was the same intonation.
I don't think so.
It was such a similar like tone to it. The way he says it though, it's funny. It's really funny, but really funny, really funny guy. I will say the filming is very inconsistent where he's filming certain things, but there's so much stuff that happens and I'm like, why are you not filming this? Why are you not filming this? It's established you're trying to make a documentary. Yeah. Why aren't you filming this? Yeah, they also didn't do anything with the plot around that, by the way, because very early on, the vet guy, when they have their little bromance, the vet guy goes, hey, you probably shouldn't make this documentary. And he goes, why? People need to see this. And his whole thing is, well, don't you think people will then harass this tribe? It's the last tribe. They're going to harass it if they know they're here.
Yeah, and then he continues to film.
And he never has that moral moment where, like, you see him smash the camera or something. The camera just disappears. Like,
yeah, like that could have been a moment where, again, in a more competently written movie, there could have been a moment where he's like, he's got this footage, and then he thinks about, like, what vet bro was saying, and he's like, you know what? And then he takes, like, the SD card out, and he, like, chucks it or something.
Yeah. Because the whole big thing with him is he wants this footage for one specific reason that he says in the beginning to the mom. He says he gets bullied online because no one believes him.
He's trying to own the internet trolls, dude.
Yeah, he's trying to own the trolls. And
he talks about people in his Discord server, which is really funny, too.
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
I think the only likable human is Bernie.
Yeah, I wouldn't say only likable, but like the only competent
who's not neutral. I'm neutral on everyone else. I like Bernie.
Okay, yeah, if you're scaling it like that, I can agree.
So
I can agree there.
Overall, what are your thoughts?
Overall, in terms of a movie, like a film, it's like an easy 4, like for me.
It's like I'll say it's a 4, but like 3 of those points are for Bernie.
I'll say 2. 2 were for Bernie,
right.
1 for Kong, 1 for Zilla.
2 for Bernie. So I'm gonna give it a 2 for Bernie. All right. Kong and Zilla get actually a 3, but it's a -1 because Little Monk looks like Alex.
Okay, all right.
I don't like looking at Alex.
That's better than the cheese and math we did. So that does math out. So yeah, I give it a 4. Like you said, same reason. What would you give it, just as like an experience?
If I'm rating it for what it is, which I think film critics often fall short of, I understand, like, you're rating it as a film.
They're rating it critically.
You're critiquing it as a film.
Yeah.
I'm critiquing it for what it is. If I'm going to critique what it is, it's like a 6 or a 7. It's a really fun movie. If you want something that's a really fun watch, this is a great one.
As what it was for me, which was hang out with the boy, go get dinner, couple of drinks, hit the theater, a little tipsy, solid 7.
Yeah, Jordan had the burpees from his Coors.
Yeah, I had to chug a whole, 12-ounce Coors, because they were so fucking late giving us our check that, like, we had to go, and I was like...
Anyway, that's beside the point.
That'll be for the podcast. Come back for the podcast next week. We'll talk about this experience on that side. But, no, I say it's like a 7.
Yeah, I'll settle on, like, I'll split the difference. I'll say, all right, because we don't usually do decimals. I'll say it's a strong 6 or a light 7.
You know, an audience member who will not be named told me that they like when we call things a hard 6 and a soft 7.
All right, then it's a hard 6 and a soft 7.
All right.
I kind of err on the, like, Fantano scale of rating things, where he doesn't do decimals, but he'll say it's a strong number, or a light 6 or a strong 6 or something.
Yeah.
But hard 6, light 7.
Yeah.
It's a really fun watch. It's a fine action movie. There's a lot of cool looking things. I wrote here lots of monks, big lizards.
Yep.
If that's what you want to see,
I think it's a good time. Yeah, I mean, if you even have a slight interest in Monkey,
I think this falls on the same scale as Paul Blart Mall Cop 2 for me, in that it is really, really fun to watch, but you can't just sit and watch it alone. You have to be with friends. It's fun to watch, and you can't just... If you're going to sit there and be like,
yes.
Oh, interesting.
Interesting plot.
Oh, I wonder what the symbolism behind this is. You're watching the wrong movie.
Yeah. But if you just drink a little and laugh a little and talk with your boys on the side, that's a better time. So I concur. That's all I got.
Overall, pretty good movie. Pretty good supplemental episode.
Yeah. It was all right.
So
I guess our opinion doesn't matter. What do you think? Like it? Love it?
Send us death threats.
Please.
So that's it.
That's it.
Goodbye, everyone.